Hello, welcome. I'm Penny Elliott, and you might not have seen me for a while. That's not cool. And that's because something happened with the old emails, and as I went from Elliott to Commons to Elliott, with changing my last names, and if you've been following along or you listen to Jim Fortin's podcast, you will also know that I am no longer an Elliott as in married Elliott. So that was a bit of a waste of time, but that is not what I'm here to talk to you about today. Today, I want to talk to you about this brand new training, how to get the goals you want in 2021 without overwhelm and fear getting in your way. So you might have a new planner. I have got hundreds of them. Here is one of my one for next year. And by Kate Northrup. That's the Do Less planner. And look at the size of that sucker. And the thing is, you might write these goals down, and year on year on year, you might write them down, and you think, this is the year that I'm going to make 7 figures. This is the year I'm going to make 100K in 100 days. You know, if you've bought my book, you've probably read it, and you're thinking, this is the year I'm going to write 100K in 100 days. This is the year I'm going to write a book. This is the year I am going to have a baby. This is the year I'm going to find the man of my dreams to have a baby, or female of my dreams. This is the year I'm going to buy a house. This is the year I'm going to enter a marathon and finish it. And there's lots and lots of things that you sit down and you write. You know, this was my planner from last year, the Dream Planner by Kiki K. Unfortunately, a really beautiful shop that's no longer around because of COVID. Well, only online. And there's a whole lot of stuff in here that you probably have at home as well. And basically COVID hit, and this thing, I didn't even get it out anymore, right? And so that made me really think about it. So I am a sales and business coach, and I've been doing that for 4 years. And I've helped people get like $87,000 worth of sales in 3 weeks. I've created 100K in 100 days myself. I've had $20,000 days. I've had $20,000 weeks. You name it, I've done it, I've had it, right? I've also done 18 marathons, 18 Ironmans, 40 marathons. That's me holding all my medals there. I've bought and sold a house. I've had a kid. I got married, got divorced, got out the other side, paid him out. And I feel like I've done a lot in my life. And my true calling is not to just help you with your sales and business, but it's about getting the goals, right? And so many people say to me, how do you get so much done in a day, let alone in a life? So in this quick training, because I know life is like super short and you know, and you've probably got 45 different things going on. You just heard a dinger of mine. I need to check my Facebook ads. And so today I wanted to be quick. I want to be informal. I want you to learn 3 things. I want you to learn about how to set a goal, and actually how to achieve that goal. Number 2 is why 2021 can be your year to make that 100K in 100 days, or that big price goal that you want, so that you can actually have some money. And you know what? If you make 100K in 100 days, you can have the other 265 days off. But what I would challenge you to do is do that 3 times over and have 65 days off and make 300K, right? And I'm also going to tell you what the 4 pillars are to a successful entrepreneur that most people don't talk about. A lot of people don't practice. I've got it written down here. So let me just go to my notes. And as you can see, we're not doing this super formal. This is not something that I want you to feel like you needed to opt in on or anything like that. It's just all free for you. So the first one is how to set a goal, okay? So all of the, and achieve it, right? So all of the 90-day goal planners, I mean, you can see a lot of my journals in the background there. A lot of them are in storage at the moment. I have that many. I couldn't be bothered unpacking them and repacking them. So a lot of them say, you know, set down smart, achievable goals. Make sure that they are written down. And of course, they're saying that because they're selling journals, right? You can write your goal down anywhere. That is definitely key number 1. Key number 2 is make it really visible and tell every fucker under the sun that's what your goal is, okay? So I will let you in on a dirty secret. I used to smoke. I smoked a lot of cigarettes every day. You can probably see. And a filthy habit. Really filthy. Cool at the time, right? Everyone does stuff because they think it's cool. I thought it was really cool. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm not going to lie. Cigarettes were like my best friend. I would go outside, have a cigarette and think about stuff. You're kind of doing breathing exercises at the same time. It slows you down, makes you think about it. And so actually, it's pretty much like being mindful, but just with really bad side effects. Most people laugh at that. So I hope you're laughing. But when I wanted to give up smoking, I didn't just like write it down and put it in a journal and put it away. I told everyone, and I filled that gap with something else, right? And that was triathlon. So I really just turned one obsession into the next. So if you want to achieve something in 2021, then 1, you must write it down. But 2, you must tell everyone. And the third thing that helped me give up smoking, and the third thing that helped me get 100K in 100 days, the third thing that helped me write a book, the third thing that helped me launch my podcast this year, the third thing that got me to 18 Ironman finish lines, not just the start line, but the finish line, because that's where the goal is finished, to 40 marathons, to being published in, over 30 publications, to getting in Forbes, right? I've been published in Forbes 3 or 4 times now. The thing that's helped me get there, and the only thing, is accountability, right? So I write it down. I've got my whiteboard up here. I write it down. I tell everyone that that's what I want to do, and not obnoxiously. Most people are going to support you in your goals. And if they're not going to support you in your goals, then get rid of them, right? Or just don't hang around with that person when you're going for that goal. Okay. So different goals, different people need to be surrounded by you. So for example, for my sporting goals, my Ironmans and my marathons, I got coaches, right? And they held me accountable. And do I want to get on a phone call with them every week and be like, yeah, sorry, I didn't do any training this week because I can't be bothered. No, I didn't, right? Because that person is putting invested effort into me. Usually I've paid them quite a lot of money. And so therefore that drives the results. Okay. Same with a book, right? I got a book coach, Elise Cartwright. She helped me write this. She helped me keep accountable. I also had an accountability partner who was doing her PhD at the same time. And she was like, oh my God, I wrote 5,000 words this weekend because my husband looked after my son for 2 hours. And I was like, oh shit. I did nothing, right? I didn't even ask for the time. And so that helped me see ways that I could actually get more writing done and how to ask for help. So it also showed me different ways of working. So having an accountability partner is hugely beneficial, and having paying someone to hold you accountable to the point where you're actually slightly frightened and you absolutely have to stick to that goal. That in itself is a huge motivator, and it's the difference between people who achieve sporting goals and people who don't. I don't think there's a single person that's been to the Olympics that doesn't have a coach. Think about that. So if you want to get to the top of your game, or you just want to achieve one of the goals that you've written down, get someone to help you with it, right? Get someone to show you alternative ways or the fastest way to get there. Right? And that's massive. And so many people overlook that. So when you're writing your goals down for 2021, don't just write down the goal, write down who is going to help you. You might not know how you're going to get there, but you do need to know who is going to help you, right? So that's really important. So that's number 1 in getting that goal to happen. So the second thing, that's how you're going to take action. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to take action on every single goal that you want, because your goal might be to make pottery or build a garden or do something that's not my area of expertise, although I do know how to do pottery and I do know how to build a garden, and I'm sure I could help you. It's about having that accountability. Who's that person to check in with? So, it could be that I check in with you every week and say, well, have you done any more of the garden? Can you send me some photos? Can you tell me how many hours you've logged? And who have you spoken to? How many plants have you bought? That kind of stuff is going to get you to take action. And action every day adds to 365 days of action, which gets you a whole lot closer to your goal than just writing it down, right? So point number 2 is why 2021 can be your year to make 100K in 100 days. And As I said, you can do that 3 times over if you want and have 65 days off, or you can do it once if 100K is enough to hit 6 figures for you. You know, your financial goal is your financial goal. Your financial freedom is set by you and by nobody else. For some people, you know, 100K is more than enough. You know, for some people, 300K is not enough, right? And that's the beauty of wealth, is that it is determined and generated by you and you only, okay? So I wanted to say how you can get started on that, and how you can get started on that is by setting a goal, setting a target. And then not just saying, oh, I want 100K in 100 days, right? That's a really good goal. That's what this book is all about. It shows you how to do it. The main thing that I get people emailing me back about is the fact that I've actually said set the goal and then break it down, right? So for 100K in 100 days, you either need to sell $1,000 a day for 100 days. You sell one thing for $100,000. You might buy something and sell it again, like a house, and that makes you $100,000. You might buy 10 things and sell them for $10,000 more, and that will make you 10 times 10,000, which is 100,000. You might sell 10 one-on-one clients in 3.5 months, which is what 100 days is, and there's $10,000. You might launch a product that's $10 and you sell 100,000 of them, right? So you need to break it down. And you need to understand what your goal is every day. I have a friend who has been on the podcast, Alison Hardy, and her goal for 2021 was to sell something every single day. She wanted to sell something every single day. And some of her products are $7 and some of her products are $7,000, right? But her thing was that she wanted to sell something every day. So how you get started on making 100K in 100 days is you set that goal and then you set non-negotiable parameters around it. You get the accountability so that it holds you to that, and you go all in, right? Go all in. Basically, like, tell yourself you're putting your house on the line, or, you know, most of us have got kids or family or a cat or a dog, and if you don't hit the 100K in the 100 days, you have to give them up. Right? They go into foster care or they go to the SPCA or something like that. Like, really make it an absolute non-negotiable, right? None of this like, oh, you know, well, I'll donate $20 to charity if I don't make it. Like, it has to be to the point where it scares the living shit out of you. So, for example, for my first Ironman, it cost me like $900 to enter, which is a ridiculous amount of money for one day. Although I do think that the service they provide is phenomenal, especially the American ones. But still, it's a big whack. Like, there's no payment plans. The races sell out within seconds when they go online. So there's no dilly-dallying around. You have to pay right there and then. You have to put it on your credit card and work it out later. And it's got to happen. And there's no bonuses. There's no like, oh, buy early and you get a free towel. No, it's one price. Get it, or you have to wait for a whole nother year. An incredible sales model. But what I'm saying is I go all in, right? I go all in. And then I'm like, right, well, I've entered this thing. I have to do the training. I have to do the work. I have to get there. Because they're not going to bring the finish line closer to me because I couldn't be bothered getting out of bed on a Sunday morning and doing my long runs. They're not going to bring the finish line closer to me because I went out and got totally hammered and couldn't get out of bed the next morning. They're not going to bring the finish line closer to me because my child was sick and I couldn't get out training, right? I need to find a way to make it happen. And that's what I'm put on this planet to do, is show you guys how to make it happen, right? Because if you want something bad enough, you will do it, okay? If you think about the fact that maybe your child or your dog, say the cat, right? The cat gets sick. There is no like, oh, well, we'll wait and see tomorrow because I haven't got any money, or you've got to wait till payday, right? You take it straight to the vet and you get it fixed. And you're like, fuck, I'm going to work out how to pay that once they've fixed it, right? Like, I've got to work it out. It's exactly the same in your business and your personal goals and your physical goals and your health goals and any goal. You have to make it work, right? You have to make it work. So that is by getting an accountability partner, right? So we're at 14 minutes now. So I want to make this under 20 minutes so that you've got no excuses to not listen to this and really absorb it and take it in and take some action from it, right? So the first point was how to set a goal and how to actually get to take the action, right? The second point was how you can make 100K in 100 days and how to get started with that, okay? So you've got that now. It's making it a non-negotiable, and it's about getting that accountability part into your life. And then the last point is the 4 pillars to any successful entrepreneur. That isn't strategy. And if you're anything like me, you've probably been going, oh, she's going to tell me the strategy. And it's taken me a long time to realize that the strategy ain't shit if your head's not in the game, right? You know, like the Cypress Hill song, I'm showing my age. Bulletproof vest ain't shit when the infrared's pointing at your head, right? So like strategy, bulletproof vest is nothing. You can have as many automations coming out your eyeballs, but if you haven't got it in here and you aren't totally in love with it, it's not going to work. And you know how I know that? Because I've launched lots of stuff that has flopped, and it's because I'm like, I just wish people would pay. I can't really be bothered. And so that's why I've made a shift this year, because mindset is key, and I only want to do stuff that really, really is cool, resonates with me. And I've got hundreds of courses that I could sell, but none of them really, there's a couple of them, like my copy paste tweak swipe file suite really resonates. And there's a couple of things that are really, really cool, but I'm revamping everything this year. And it's all about mindset, okay? So what do I mean by mindset? You might be like, whatevs. You have to do the things that make you laugh and that make you have fun every day, right? So that is number 1. So if you feel like you're going to work in your business, then it is all wrong. You need to do it for the love of doing it and get paid at the same time. Because if you don't just do it for the love, right? Because then you're running a charity. And if you are, then you need to speak to Kat Lucklock, one of my previous clients of a couple of years, because she helps you set up a charity. But so the number 1 thing is to find the thing that really brings you joy. Because when you are joyful, it is super easy to sell, right? Because you're like, I don't give a shit if you buy it or not, because I really love doing this. And when you've got that, like, I don't care, it's going ahead anyway attitude, people will jump on board with that. People love that energy. That energy and vibration is the thing that people are like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Like, this is awesome. This already is awesome. Look, she already thinks it's awesome because she doesn't really even care if I want to come or not. So please pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, right? So that is really, really key. So make sure that number 1, your first pillar is you do things that actually are really cool, right? So if you utterly hate Instagram or you utterly hate Facebook, don't hang out on it, right? Just don't do it. There are a bazillion platforms out there that you can find people, right? If networking's your jam, then do more of that. If networking is not your jam or public speaking's not your jam, then just don't even do it, okay? Sure, you'll get clients that way, but you're going to get clients in all sorts of other ways as well. So just do the thing that makes you really happy. So that's number 1, is get your mind in the game. Number 2, and I've got heaps more like actual tools that, we can't go into this training because it would go on for hours and hours and hours. And I really want you to watch this, but if you need more of those tools, then, make sure that my emails are whitelisted, that you go and listen to my podcast, that you dive into some of the free stuff that I give out. My book has got quite a few chapters on it in the woo section on how to actually get your head in the game. But the second point is sleep, right? If you are sleep deprived, and that might just be 7 hours sleep a night, and one really shitty night. If you're sleep deprived, you will naturally go to the negative. It is a human psychological response, right? We know it in sports science that if you're tired, you will always go to the negative. So if I'm doing like a really long run and I start to get tired, it's really easy for negative thoughts to creep in. Now, we don't notice that so much while we are churning through our day, trying to get work stuff done, trying to get kids organized, trying to get freaking Christmas presents wrapped. They're all sitting over there. Just everything is on top of us, and we don't even notice that we're getting that tired, and then we start thinking really bad things like, I can't be asked doing this training because no one's gonna freaking watch it anyway, right? And that's because you're tired and you don't get it. But when I'm doing exercise, it's really easy to see that, well, I've just run for 2 hours, so of course I'm getting tired. So of course my mind's going to start to wander, so I need to work on that, right? It's really easy. It's exemplified in sport, but it's not so much in human nature. So if you really, really want to get ahead in your business, sleep more. Sounds totally counterintuitive because everyone's like, well, if you ain't working on your website at midnight, then you ain't going to get anywhere. Bullshit, I say. If you're working on your website at midnight, fucking outsource that shit, or go to bed, get up and do it the next day when you've got a fresh head, right? That is the reason why construction workers, people who drive big lorries and trucks, they have to have logbooks because they're not allowed to be in charge of heavy machinery when they're tired. Why? Because things fuck up. So why do you think you could be in charge of your heavy machinery website at midnight and you're not getting anywhere? Because your brain is not clicked in. Now, maybe you've got up at midday and midnight's actually not that late. I get that. But in general, you will be tired at that hour, right? So sleep. So first of all is get your mind in the game, do the things that bring you joy. Number 2, get more sleep. Even if you think you've got loads, get some more. Number 3 is exercise. You absolutely categorically have to get outside every single day. And I've been to Canada in the middle of winter, up in the Rockies, and it's hard work getting some exercise in. I hear you. I totally hear you. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere at the moment and it is starting to get bleak outside, I hear you. But you can always do some form of exercise, right? So even if it's going to the gym, do it with get on the treadmill by the window, right? If it's going to the pool, that's fine. You are still like feeling that liquid around you. If it's going for a walk, do it briskly. Don't dawdle. Don't be freaking Instagramming the whole way. Listen to my podcast and go for a walk. Re-listen to this training and go for a walk. Go for a run, go for a bike ride, take the kids to school on your bike, get a seat for them on the back, get a seat for them on the front, get a trolley, get a trailer, just do more, just always make it an absolute non-negotiable, because I can guarantee you the best ideas come to you when you're exercising. It is like meditation and sweat all at the same time, because you make the left-right motion. And that's what you're doing when you're doing breathing exercises sitting on your butt at home, right? So you might as well doing your breathing exercises and your meditation while you're out walking and exercising. That's 3 for the value of 1 and job done. You will come up with all the best ideas to fill your big journal with when you get back. And then my 4th pillar is hydration and nutrition. You should always be drinking water all day long. All day long. Now, I have between 2 and 3 cups of coffee a day. I think I've had 4 today. But I've also drunk about 2 litres of water, and I've got a cup of tea on the go at the moment off screen. And I will drink some more water throughout the day as well. Your body is made up of, I don't know, some crazy fact, like 80% of water or 90% of water. And so if you're starving yourself, it's like trying to get flowers to grow from the pot plant that you haven't watered all week. Like, it's not going to happen, right? So if you want to be joyous, you want to be able to sleep properly, and you want to be able to get out and exercise so that you can have a successful business, so you can hit the goals that you've spent hours writing down in your journal for 2021, you need to be hydrated. You also need to eat well, okay? It is very, very easy to grab a bag of crisps. It is very, very easy to feel loved by having a piece of chocolate. It is very, very depressing to not be able to fit your jeans, and it takes a long time to get that off again. It is much easier to have long-term joy by reaching for an apple or a mandarin or a satsuma, depending on where you live in the country, or a banana, or some raisins, some nuts. And I'll tell you what, I buy milk chocolate for my partner. He loves it. And he said to me, babe, I need to shred. And you know what? I want to help support that, So my short-term gain of buying him some chocolate, so I think, he thinks I'm wonderful. I bought him chocolate in the shop, in the grocery shop for the week, aren't I lovely? It's actually not helping him, because he likes it at the time, but when he looks at himself in the mirror, or when he tries to do some training or anything like that, he doesn't feel that love for himself deep down. And I know you know how that feels because everyone's had it before, right? And so actually the long-term benefits of that is me not having it in the house is less instant love, but longer term love, right? Because when he starts to feel better about himself, he's going to do better things, right? And be a better person. And that's exactly the same with you. So because we haven't had that milk chocolate in the house, guess who else hasn't been eating it? And I don't even really dig into chocolate that much. I mean, I used to work for Lindt as a sales manager there, for a national sales manager and for one of the sections. And I used to love eating chocolate all the time. And if it's not there, I don't eat it. You go to the cupboards and you're like, shit, no chocolate. What am I going to eat instead? No cookies. Well, I'm not going to eat those. And I buy kids snacks for Josh that are things that I don't like. So that I don't eat those as well, right? So set yourself up for success. Have a bottle of water on your desk. Have snacks in the house that are only good for you, right? Or just don't even have snacks. Easy. Job done. Means that you'll eat a tomato. Go to bed early. Set an alarm on your phone to say, go to bed. My alarm says, go to bed. Then the second one says, go to bed, don't be so dumb. And the third one says, if you still see this, you should be in bed, right? And it means that I'm going to bed. I'm getting sleep. And it means that's how I get so much done. That's how I hit my goals every year. That's how I wrote a book while I had a baby. He was newborn. I wrote a book. I published it. It went live this day last year. That is how I've done 18 Ironmans, 40 marathons, is those 4 simple pillars of success that are free to everyone on this planet. You can always do things that bring you joy. You can always go to bed earlier, even if you've got little ones. Hey, I've been there, right? I went to bed at 7 o'clock when he did because I knew he was going to wake up at 10, 3, 5, and 7 on a good night. But I still managed to get my sleep in because I went to bed when he went to bed, right? And then hydration and good food. It is cheaper to buy fruit and veg than it is to buy anything else in the supermarket. So I don't believe that anyone doesn't have access to that. Okay? So make sure that you drink, that you stick to those 4 pillars, and then that will set you up to be able to hit the goals that you want to do. So you need the accountability, you need a proper goal, you need to tell everyone about it, you need to have the accountability, you need to set those financial goals that really light you up, do things that bring you joy, get more sleep, exercise outside, or at least look outside for at least half an hour every day, and hydrate yourself and have good nutrition. So I hope this is going to help you set up for 2021 really, really well. If you want to know more about this kind of stuff, I am going to be running something. I haven't quite formulated it yet, but if you want to know about it and you want to jump on the wait list, I'm going to pop a link down below and you can jump on the wait list for it. I'm not quite sure how it's going to unfold, but it definitely will mean that you will hit your goals and there's going to be no fucking around. You're actually going to get there and you're going to do what you want to do. All right. Much love.